A few days ago we reviewed the Krypton 550, an affordable lightweight gaming mouse from the Polish brand Genesis. Now we have its bigger sibling, the Krypton 750, a lightweight gaming mouse that sports a removable back cover, removable weights, the Pixart PAW3333 sensor, and a price of around $43 and in this review we shall see how good it is. The Krypton 750 is an interesting mouse from the start, as it has a removable back cover that can be replaced with either a perforated panel or a solid panel, both included with the mouse. In addition to that, this mouse has a removable weight, which is a rare sight these days, especially in a medium-range gaming mouse that sports the lightweight honeycomb pattern. The Krypton 750 is available in two colors and has a price tag of $43 or euros, and that's for both colors. However, the price will vary, so please do shop around for the base price. The look of the mouse is similar with a lot of lightweight mice in this price range. We have a symmetrical casing with a lot of hexagonal holes to reduce the overall weight of the mouse. What is different though is the weighting system and the additional back cover that can be replaced, but more on those after we've done with the shape and the design of the mouse. Speaking of which, the design of the Krypton 750 is good. The shape of the casing is symmetrical on all sides, and that means one thing, that this mouse can be used by both right-handed and left-handed users. The interesting thing about the Krypton 750 is the removable rear cover and the weight system. First, we are going to talk about the replaceable rear cover. You simply pull the rear cover off the mouse and replace it with the other one, and that's about it. You have a choice of two covers, a simple solid cover that has the Genesis logo printed on it and a lightweight honeycomb pattern cover that is pre-installed on the mouse. If you're curious about the weight differences between these two, it's 2 grams. And you will cover, no pun intended, the RGB LEDs at the rear with the solid one, so keep that in mind. The weight system is simple and has a design that we have seen before, especially with RGB mice of the older days. You get 12 weights in total, each being 1.5 grams. This totals to an added 18 grams of weight. The RGB elements present on the mouse are plentiful, with 3 zones being light up at once. We are talking of course about the scroll wheel, the rear Genesis logo and a small strip of LEDs on the rear and sides. It's a simple design that works efficiently and it is present on other Krypton mice in more or less the same shape. When we talk about the surface of the mouse, it's simple, and I'm not trying to be funny, it's really simple. This mouse has no rubber inserts, no rubber patterns or any pattern apart from the honeycomb that is used to lower the weight. It's a strange move since other Genesis mice that are part of the same series, the Krypton, do have rather nice rubberized patterns on the sides. It's not a bad thing, it's just interesting to see it happen, especially on a mouse that is not the cheapest on the lineup. The mouse has a total of 6 buttons, including the main clicks, the 2 clicks, a DPI cycle switch at the top and 2 side buttons that are used as the default forward and backwards buttons. Going back to the shape of the mouse, a lot of people compare it to the Razer Viper Mini, and I can see why. The mouse is similar in design but still different enough to not call it a copy. As for the grip style suited for this mouse, I'd say that both the claw grip and palm grip styles will work, but that will depend on the size of your hand. The cable is long enough to work for all systems, with a length of 180 cm or 1.8 meters. The wires are protected by a paracord braided sleeving that makes the cable flexible and easy to work with. The underside of the mouse is simple, with a solid base that has no honeycomb patterns holes, and that's about it. The Krypton 750, much like other Krypton mice, sits on 2 large Teflon feet, and next to the sensor we have a small switch that will cycle through the pulling rate. Weirdly though, the Krypton 550 had a switch to control the RGB LEDs, but the 750 does not. The accessories are plentiful with this mouse. You get an extra set of Teflon feet, this time in white, a solid rear cover and the weights, plus the weight holder. The disassembly process with this mouse is easy. You need to remove the back Teflon skate and you will find 2 small screws. Remove those and the top casing will slide towards the back. The PCB used on the Krypton 750 is simple and has good soldering across the board, no pun intended. The microcontroller used on this mouse is made by Holtec and it is the Holtec HT68FP560 model. This has been widely used in both mice and gaming keyboards and has a proven record for reliability. This MCU is often used for memory storage and RGB control. The main clicks use Huano-made switches. These are the blue casing with blue plunger models. These switches are known for their good tactile feedback and above average noise. These are what some people call stiff switches, but they do offer a good performance for gaming and office alike. The side buttons also use Huano switches with a black case and yellow plunger. These offer good tactile feedback, however, if pressed hard enough the casing will start to flex a bit and give in, so don't overdo it. The scroll wheel uses a Huano black switch for its middle click, while the encoder is made by F-switch and has a brown casing with black core. The DPI cycle switch uses another Huano black switch with a yellow plunger, the same as the side buttons. A great thing to see is that the mouse uses a socket and connector for its cables. This means that replacing the entire cable and connector of the mouse will be a simple thing if you can get replacement. The software included with the Genesis Krypton 750 has a similar interface as the software used by other Krypton mice. This is a typical software used by many manufacturers, but that is not really a bad thing at all, as it means that it's a software that has been patched and it works instead of being a bespoke item. The first page of the software allows you to configure the function of the buttons. It will also let you save and change the profile stored within the mouse memory. The second page deals with the performance of the sensor. Here you can adjust the DPI value, pulling rate and the color of each profile. On the right side you can adjust the scroll speed, mouse speed, key speed and so on. The third page has all the RGB settings you want, the light pattern and modes, the colors and more. The last page is the macro editor for the entire mouse. Here you can change the function of all buttons and switches. Testing a mouse will always be a subjective thing, as each person wants a different shape and different features from a sensor. However, we can test it just enough to give you a better understanding of the reviewed mouse and help you make a better choice. The testing is done using the mouse tester software. This is a simple software that measures the performance of the sensor. This test will showcase the tracking performance of the sensor on a regular mouse mat, and as you can see in this graph, everything is uniform with little scattering across the line. We use Microsoft Paint to test the performance of the sensor at multiple DPI settings, and here we mainly look for uneven tracking, angle snapping and jitter. And as you can see, the sensor is working well with no issues present across the entire page. Looking at the tests and the experience while using the mouse, I can say that the Genesis Krypton 750 is a good gaming mouse. It's well made and the sensor used is good, even though it is a bit on a budget side. What is great about this mouse is the shape, and for good reason, as this shape has been tried and tested by many manufacturers. The mechanical switches offer a good tactile feedback, and I'm not talking about just the main clicks. Even the side buttons feel great to the touch and not mushy at all. The overall experience with this mouse is good and should be on the same level as many other good quality gaming mice. The cable used with the Krypton 750 is great. Not only is it long enough to reach your system regardless of where you have it set up, but it's lightweight and easy to use thanks to its paracord sleeving. The weight system is good and will work just as intended. It's good to see with this system that the weight tray and by extension the weights are centered, and thus the mouse will be balanced in your hands even if you lift it. If there are any issues with this mouse, it has to be the price. At over $40 the Genesis Krypton 750 is not cheap, especially since other mice within this price range are better and offer more as they use a better sensor. The Pixar PAW3330 sensor is good but still a budget sensor, while other models that are under $50 offer better sensors by default. If you can find this mouse for around $45, then it's a solid choice for a gaming mouse. However, at over $40, this mouse makes little sense as you can get better mice for the same price. The choice is yours based on the price and the features you want from a gaming mouse. If you like this review, then you might consider subscribing for more, and if you want to support me in a direct way, then in the description below you will find the links for both the Patreon and also Star pages of this channel.